All right, so just trading the NASDAQ futures after the NVIDIA earnings came out, popped up to about 195. I'm actually going to take this off right here and have one last trade over here. So should actually run a buy stop here, which I'm going to probably get stopped out.
Order filled.
All right, so all flat
Order
there.
submitted.
Next 5-minute candle's opening. We're pushing higher. The sell on the NASDAQ will be at this red line here, which is +2s. Normally I don't have stock charts up, but NVIDIA kind of rules the world, and they just reported earnings. So we'll see if we can get one last trade on the short side. In order to get a long, I would need to see NVIDIA come back to right around 187.5 where it started before the earnings announcement, and then also see what that does down here around VWAP on the NASDAQ futures. So that would be the plan there. So hang out here for another moment or so. I'm not going to be buying the pullback to the +1s here. It doesn't really make sense. The levels here on the NASDAQ are going to be 24,670 and 697. 697. We'll see what happens on this 3-minute candle. Could take a speculative long here at this minus +1s, but not going to do it. Not going to do it. Not going to do it. If you don't trade NASDAQ futures, one of the benefits of the NASDAQ futures, and there aren't many because it's a squirrely instrument, and I generally do not recommend it for especially for newer traders, but it's become all the rage, especially in the prop trading programs. But one of the things you can do is on quarterly earnings for sort of the big NASDAQ stocks, Microsoft, Apple, Google, Meta, Tesla, and of course NVIDIA. After market, when the stock is trading around, we can trade the NASDAQ futures and get sort of essentially movement that's in the same direction. You can see as NASDAQ's pushing up here, as NVIDIA is pushing up here, the NASDAQ is pushing as well. And if we get up here to 195, that should probably get us close to, again, the 918s. But most of the time we can trade this completely independently. We're just trading the NASDAQ futures using what's called the stay in the lane strategy, which is right here. And we just put the orders on the lines, as I like to say. A lot of people overcomplicate the simplicity of trading and like to have a bunch of tools and internals and bubbles all over their charts and look left and invent reasons for why things are going for liquidity or going for this level or going for that level. Look, over 80% of price action in the S&P, now I'm trading the NASDAQ, but about over 80% of price action during the cash session, the New York session, 9:30 to 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, is going to take place within 2 standard deviations of VWAP. So why not just use that to your advantage? Put the probabilities in your favor. Okay. We haven't been able to backtest the NASDAQ the same way we could backtest the S&P because the components of the NASDAQ continue to change, and there's now 6 or 7 stocks that are sort of outsized returns. So I don't want to go back and say, oh, it's the same amount of time that the NASDAQ spends within 2 standard deviations. It's not. The NASDAQ will tend to get outside of those bands more often than the S&P. But once you have 100% ATR, which we do here in the NASDAQ today, in other words, the expected range in the NASDAQ is around 450 points. We've already put in 450 points of range. It makes the 2 standard deviation bands much more likely to contain price. All right, we'll just leave it there for now. I'll probably rest this order for a little bit longer, but you get the gist. If you want to find out anything more about what we do at TDZ, the Traders Dev Group, via my YouTube channel here, Futures Fanatic, please make sure you check the description down below, or wherever you happen to be consuming this content. You can find out more about what we do, and you can get access to a bunch of free training and resources that can help you trading. Thanks very much. Stay green, trade like Mina. Thanks.